Before we begin this Smackdown review, I want to give a massive shout out to the Melbourne Football Club here in Australia on congratulating them on winning the 2021 AFL Grand Final. Our football season has officially ended with the Melbourne Football Club Melbourne Demons securing the AFL victory on winning the Grand Final over the Western Bulldogs. Congratulations to them. They had waited for 54 years to win a Grand Final and 20 years since their last Grand Final. So, happy for them. Congrats to them. But I also feel bad for my girlfriend, who's a Western Bulldog supporter. So, that's like the only brief mention of that I will bring up here. So, I wanted to talk about that before we get into the review. So anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to this Smackdown review. I hope you guys are all excited. So, let's begin with the Smackdown review. Bianca Belair makes a statement to Becky Lynch ahead of WWE Extreme Rules. Bianca and Becky had a back and forth, which led to Bianca giving Becky Lynch the kiss of death. This kind of starts to make me think that Becky Lynch could win at Extreme Rules, but then again, whenever we think someone stands tall, sometimes we think the person that stands tall ends up losing, but sometimes the person that stands tall even walks away with the win. So, we don't really know for sure. First match was King Nakamura, yeah! As how Rick Boogs continues to call him. Where is Nakamura? Who's Nakamura? Seriously. Anyway, that joke's getting old. But anyway, King Nakamura will defeat Apollo Crews to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I think Apollo Crews could move over to Monday Night Raw. I predicted him to move over to Raw in my draft predictions, because I feel like, he could benefit from a move. And he and Commander Aziz could make a decent tag team. Seth Rollins demands that Edge meets him in the ring next week. And great, we had to see more Edge. But, it's whatever. Then we had Selena Vega take on Liv Morgan here. We would all assume that Selena Vega would lose this match, but Selena Vega would get the victory due to a distraction by Carmella. And by the way, the submission hold that Zelina Vega has been using is actually one of Aleister Black's submission holds. You see that the submission you see her using in the thumbnail of the video, on the YouTube channel, is actually called the Dragon Slayer. And I actually really like the look of that submission hold. I think Zelina Vega should definitely use that as a finisher. Zelina Vega would win the match with the code RED. The Sunset Flip Powerbomb. Baron Corbin debuts Happy Talk. Great. That's exactly what we need. More talk shows. Ding Dong Hello still reigns supreme as the best talk show, and nothing tops it. Come fight me. Kevin Owens would come out and ruin the proceedings until Riddick Moss. Yes, that jobber, Riddick Moss, attacks Kevin Owens. So you mean to tell me SmackDown loses all these other superstars, loses all these other superstars to help benefit Monday Night Raw, but SmackDown get Riddick Moss of all people? Give me a damn break. Absolutely pathetic on WWE. Who even gives a shit about this dude? Who even gives a shit about this Riddick Moss anyway? Apparently WWE does. Apparently Baron Corbin always needs a lackey. Absolutely pathetic. Not a fan of this at all. This was really dumb. Nikki ASH made a surprise appearance here on SmackDown with Rhea Ripley. Surprisingly, the Women's Tag Team Champions actually did something here. They actually did something with the Tag Team Championships. Nikki Ash would beat Natalya with a roll-up, and I'm pretty sure that pretty much sees the end of Natalya and Tamina, but I highly doubt it. But then we had Shotzi and Tegan Nox appear, proclaiming their shot at the titles. I'm glad WWE actually remembered they existed, considering that they beat the former champions 3 times. Sami Zayn gives advice to Dominic Mysterio, and I think Dominic Mysterio could be heading down the road of a heel turn. He could become the first Mysterio in the Mysterio history to turn heel. Now, I know Rey Mysterio turned heel in WCW, but I more mean in the WWE standards, we've never seen a Mysterio turn heel. Naomi came out to the ring, continued bragging, not really bragging, but demanding her match. Sonya Deville came out and escorted Naomi away with security. Crowd are really behind Naomi, and the crowd were booing Sonya Deville. I mean, is this a shock to you? Is that a shock to you that fans love Naomi? Is that a shock to you? Did you really think Naomi was going to get booed? If you guys thought that, then you're absolutely insane. I originally did think that this was heading down the roads of Naomi eventually becoming a heel, but I'm actually more glad that Sonya Deville is being portrayed as the heel here instead of Naomi, because it would have been way too obvious, and more importantly, Sonya Deville's been acting more like a bitch towards Naomi than anything. This is all leading to Sonya Deville eventually coming out of, well, I wouldn't really call it retirement, but you know what I mean. This is eventually going to be leading to Sonya Deville coming out of her role as a WWE official and stepping back into the ring. So I'm very looking forward to the Naomi-Sonya Deville match. So that's going to be fun. Then our main event was Roman Reigns versus Montes Ford. Montes Ford called the Usos the bloodline bitches. And Roman Reigns and Montes Ford went to town and had a really enjoyable match. I gotta give Montes Ford his props here. He hung in there with the Universal Champion. So then after the match, Roman Reigns would win with the guillotine, forcing Montes Ford to tap out. And then the Bloodline would continue their beatdown on Montes Ford. This would lead to Demon Finn Balor appearing on top of the top rope, which looked really cool, and laying out the Bloodline. And this is now making me think that Roman Reigns is going to win. I mean, we all knew Roman Reigns was going to win anyway, and for those who continue to think that Roman Reigns is going to go to Raw, this is after Extreme Rules, you're all going to be disappointed when he beats Finn Balor and he remains on the Smackdown roster. Big E and Roman Reigns are going to be the first two draftees. Big E drafted to Raw, Roman Reigns drafted to SmackDown. So, that's pretty much SmackDown, guys. I'm going to wrap this one up really quickly. Don't really have a whole lot to say. SmackDown was a good show. Definitely much better now that they're starting to showcase more women and actually giving them, actual airtime. Just need Toni Storm in the ring, and putting on a good match with somebody, and then I'll be happy as Larry. And with the draft coming up next week, I'll be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on the draft when that happens next week as well. Not really looking forward to Extreme Rules for one certain match, but, Extreme Rules does look like it could be a really good show, but one certain match that I'm pretty sure you guys are all well aware of, I'm not looking forward to. Thank you all so much for this SmackDown review, guys. I'm going to go watch the ceremony for Melbourne Football Club getting their grand final victory, and I will see you all next time.